Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Miasan and welcome to my Traptrix deck profile. So I have nothing else to add before we start the video, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that you can see is that I'm playing 6 hand traps, 3 Dimension Shifter, and 3 Ash. This just like, I feel like just like some other decks, it's not like it benefits off of D-Shifter, it's just that it doesn't really lose to D-Shifter, so why not play a hand trap that completely destroys other decks? And also, in a way, you know what, this actually might benefit a little bit from D-Shifter, because sometimes, yeah, like D-Shifter with a lot of traps, and you use the traps, and then you top deck into a treacherous trap hole later on, and you're like, oh, my traps are actually banished and not in my grave, which is cool. The only conflicting, in a way, would be Lost Wind. You wouldn't get, like, the extra value, and also the monsters, if they are in the grave and not in the banished, not only can you not Daigusto, you cannot, Dionea to revive back one, and you also cannot use back to the front, so those are the issues, but I don't think they are that bad, because at least D-Shifter is one of the legendary, like, turn skipper, which is nice, and Ash is, like, the most generic one, so I wouldn't play, like, Valor, and also, the reason why I don't play Infinite is because even though it is a normal trap, and on paper it looks like it's really good, if you go second, Infinite can actually clash a lot with the strategy of the deck, because you would actually have a trap in your grave, and you would no longer be able to use Shade Brigandine, which is... it's just very, very unfortunate. So, Infinite, unfortunately, it made me lose, like, too many games. Sometimes I just wish there was a Valor, but then Valor loses to Called by the Grave, so... you're always a loser sometimes, right? Man, it's unfortunate. Anyways, for the Traptrix monsters, I played 3 of every single good ones. I don't play the bad ones because... I don't know, I don't like the bad ones. I just don't like the bad ones. You'd rather, like, play Desires at this point, or play other cool strategies to unbreak when you have, like, bad hands. Make sure you watch my combo video, by the way, because it is actually a really great way to learn how this deck works and how to, well, I mean, I guess unbreak. But my test hand video that is coming up tomorrow will also probably help you a lot with that as well, if you aren't really sure on how to pilot Traptrix correctly. Because I actually have probably like over 100 or 200 hours of experience with this deck. I played it a lot myself, and it was a deck that I actually considered on bringing to YCS Hartford if this YCS wasn't like cancelled by the Corona, but you know, Corona actually cancelled quite a few plans, so it's unfortunate, but whatever. But yeah, 3 Dionea, basically this one on the normal summon, because they all have like a different effect, whether you normal or special. On the normal summon, Dionea allows you to revive back a Traptrix monster in your grave in defense. So basically you get to revive even Rafflesia and Alumeris, but you cannot revive back Sarah since Link monsters are never allowed to be in defense. But you can revive back anything else. Can you even revive back another Dionea? Yeah, you can actually. Well, that's crazy. And also, when Dionea special summon, by the way, it doesn't negate the effect of the monster that you summon. When Dionea special summon, you can take a trap hole card, well, trap hole normal trap from your graveyard and set it face down. However, during the end phase of the next turn, it's going to get banished. So even if you summon it during like your turn, it's gonna get banished during your opponent's next end phase. So you still have like all the time in the world to use it. Don't worry, it's not during your end phase instantly. It's during the next turn's end phase. So you do have, and also, by the way, this has really cool synergy with Mentis, because Mentis has an effect where you can bounce back a set card to from your field to the hand, and then you can choose to set any spell or trap from your hand to the field, and you don't have to declare whether you're setting the same card or not. So one really cool thing is that in order to not get screwed up by the weird side effect of Dionea, like the card is going to get banished, and you just go, no, Mentis, put it back in my hand and set it again, and then during my opponent's turn the card is 100% safe and free, so even if they play slowly and like safely, they're still going to have to deal with that trap hole one day or another. So yeah, Mermelio, this is the 1-card starter of the deck. This is by far the best one, like seriously by far. It is the 1 card that gets you started, and it's crazy because even Mentis actually kind of gets you started in a way. It's just, it takes a little longer, but when you have Mentis in 4 traps, I want to say it's better than Mermelio with 4 traps, because Mentis gets you that Dionea, so even if your opponent, once again, plays very, very conservatively and very smart, and not really commits to your traps too much, they're still gonna die because you're still playing like proactive Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's the scary part, so yeah. Mantis is basically on the normal summon, you can search a Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand, in case you still didn't get that. Murmillo allows you to search a normal trap hole card from your deck to your hand, and when it is special summoned, you are forced to destroy to attempt to destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls, so yeah. Then 2 Desires, not 3 because, I don't know, I like my ratios, I think for now they're good, so yeah. 3 Gravedigger, I mean, this is just a bomb. Like, even outside of Traptrix, this card is overpowered. So imagine in Traptrix. Imagine when you get to loop it 20 billion times. And by the way, dealing 2000 to your opponent is very, very relevant, especially when you loop this card. Like, you can literally transform 1 Gravedigger into 3 Gravediggers in the span of just 1 turn, because Sarah sets a Trap Hole card from your deck to the field every time you use a Traptrix monster effect during either player's turn. So during your own turn, during your opponent's turn, your opponent is gonna get burned to death, and it covers a lot of ground. It's like monster effects in the hand, in the grave, in the banished. Like, that's crazy. Imagine playing against like a Chaos Thunder deck. Like, literally everything it triggers in the hand, grave, and banish, like, literally. It's nuts, so, yeah. And also, it says negate the effect and inflict 2000, not negate the activation, which is relevant because it means that you cannot use it during the damage step. However, if you negate a card that says you can only activate this card once per turn, then if you negate it with Gravedigger's Hole, they don't get an opportunity to use it again. Whereas if Gravedigger said negate the activation, then we actually might have had like a problem, because if they have it like another copy of it, then they can use it right away. So yeah, definitely do keep that in mind. It is extremely important, and it does come up in Yu-Gi-Oh! You really have to look out for those very weird details like activate, effect, blah blah blah. So yeah. 3 back to the front, this card is amazing. It is not once per turn, and you get to bring back either Murmillo as a spell or trap interruption, which once again is very relevant. It's a normal trap, so you know, it already has like sorry, it already has like inherent synergy with Sarah and the other cards. You get to revive back Dionea, reset back like a Gravedigger for something, and then trigger Sarah. Get multiple effects in one chain actually, so that's really sick. So yeah, and also you get to revive back Rafflesia, which is part of like one combo that unbricks a bad hand. Basically, that's what I meant. Because if you're not really aware of that, or if you don't necessarily play the correct cards in your extra deck, you might not really be able to play out of that one, so yeah. 3 Lost Wind, of course. This card is very, very good in a trap-heavy deck. It has just... I mean, it can be used during the damage step, and it has recursion, and you can mill it with Akashic Magician. Once again, if you are not aware of what these cards do, go check my combo video right now. Everything is very well explained, and it's like the most like recent video uploaded on my channel if you're watching this the day I upload this deck profile, so yeah. Anyways, 1 Traptrix. If you draw multiple Traptrix, it is very bricky because it is once per turn, unlike most other trap cards that I play here. Shade is the other like once per turn trap, but the card has just such a high ceiling that I felt like it wouldn't really be the end of the world. But Traptrix, I don't really know. Maybe I could play like multiples. Like, I felt like 2 Desires, 1 Traptrix would be a bit smarter though, so yeah. If you disagree though, 100% no problem, because I'm very back and forth on that card, so yeah. 3 Compulse is just very, very good. You can bounce back your own cards, by the way. You can bounce back your own, like, Dionea that you can summon, and then use it for your normal summon and get something back from your grave, and then either explode for OTK, or just, like, make rank 4s, or, I don't know, like, do some cool stuff. It's really sick. Shade is very nice, of course, I already explained that. Treacherous, yeah. Crackdown, there is absolutely no explanation behind this. It is just, like, kind of a trap that is good in simplified game state, but bad outside of it, so... yeah, if you like other cards, then no problem. I wouldn't play Judgment, though. I mean, Strike has the same issue, whereas since it's not a normal trap, it doesn't really trigger Sarah. But Strike is very good going second, and Judgment just sucks going second, and it's extremely mediocre with going first, because if you break and you have Judgment, you lose, whereas if you break and you have Crackdown, at least you avoid taking damage. Because if your opponent jumps over you with like 5 monsters with like very high attack, you steal the monster with the highest attack, and you take 0 damage because he's in battle phase, and you can't just like destroy a monster on your field because you stole the monster with the highest attack. So this is why this is what I meant by Crackdown is the best in simplified game state, so yeah. For the extra deck, I'm gonna go real quick. So 1 Redoer, obviously, because you're playing Shade, so having a trap material underneath is very, very nice. Allomeris, The effect is complicated, but it's like the card's not that great, but at the same time it is kind of cool, but it is very situational. So in a way, it's not like the best one out there, honestly. So yeah, Baguska, this allows you to come back from like really bad situations as well, because there is just like almost no way to like counter it in certain decks. Like they have to unicorn away it. So it's really problematic, and it buys you a lot of time, and it's an Earth attribute, which is very relevant as well with Mrs. Radiant and stuff. So yeah, Daigusto, this allows you to shuffle back, I don't even know, maybe shuffle back your extra Sarahs, I don't know, Dweller, whatever, Rafflesia. Rafflesia is a bomb, actually. It's crazy. Now that Master Rule 5 is a thing, the Rafflesia doesn't have to like block the zone that you gave like that you have access to thanks to Sarah, so you can put it somewhere else, and then next turn you're not just going like past turn, you're going like, okay, something over there, and then you're exploding. So everything changed. It's just infinitely better. Rafflesia actually used to suck in Traptrix before Master Rule 5. Things have changed, like I said, so yeah. Magnite Crusade Astram, I explained that. BLS Link, it's just... Oh, that's another cool thing with Crackdown. Sometimes you can steal level 7 or higher monsters, and then your BLS actually gets the full effect, so that's actually really cool. Phoenix, this is not really used in a combo, but one nice thing about Phoenix is that sometimes you have like a dead Treacherous on the field, because you have like too many traps. Well, I mean, you have traps in the grave. So one thing you can do is go Mantis, bounce it, like return it back to the hand, and then like, yeah, sure, you have a useless Treacherous in your hand, but at the same time, a useless card in your hand doesn't necessarily mean it's just like a useless card overall, because you just discard it for Phoenix, and you can easily draw a card because both Sarah and Akashic point exactly down, and if you actually summon it under Akashic, then you can use Akashic's effect after that, and like declare a card, excavate the amount of cards equal to the link rating of monsters that are co-linked. So Phoenix is link rating 2, so you excavate 2, and then you can like add it to your hand if you actually declared it correctly, and the cards that are declared incorrectly, they all go to the grave. So that's a cool play that I once again showcased in my combo video, so yeah. Asa, this is the Earth version of Hita, so there is just no effect to explain. Feel free to just read the effects of the cards if you are not really sure, but the name is Asa the Earth Charmer, Immovable, whatever, I don't even know the names. And then Mrs. Radiant and 3 Sarah, which is very obvious. This deck does not play Pot of Extravagance, because even if you banish only 2 Sarahs, you're very late behind, so yeah. For the idea section, real quick, I don't know why I have Nibiru. Sphere mode is sketch because you're already playing 9 normal summons, but since it's a trap deck, you can kind of go away with it, get away with it. Parallel Exceed, I showcased this in my combo video, but I don't really like it in real life because, yeah, sure, you have 9 Traptrix monsters, but it's not like that high of a number, so you can still draw like Parallel Exceed with no other Traptrix, and then you have dead cards in your hand. Or if you main it and then you go second, you once again also have a useless card in your hand, because it's not really a push card in a trap deck, right? It's a push card in a combo deck, but not in a trap deck, because if your normal summon gets negated or interrupted, then the Parallel Exceed is staying in your hand and not doing anything, and you just wished it was like a proactive trap or something that actually breaks board. So you don't want to clog on like too many monsters, especially not going second, and going first like 1 or 2 monsters is way more than enough, so yeah. Pancratops, this is Earth once again, and it has low defense, so you can actually search it when you crash Asa, which is sick. Phantasma, I don't know why it's there. Scythe because of Sanctum, because of Traptrick. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to pretend like Hat is a thing, because it's basically just Traptrix now. It's like the hands and the artifacts just, I don't really care. I mean, the artifact package is still very relevant in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I mean, not like the Hat deck is just, it's no longer a thing, so yeah. Entis, because I actually used to play Dragma Punishment. Well, I used to play. It's just like, it was a theory. I was like, oh, it could be good, but I don't know. It's just a lot of commitment in the extra deck, and it's just like an idea to explore, but I didn't really go into it that much, so yeah. Dagda, if you want to play the artifact cards. TG Wonder Magician with Needle Fiber, if you play like Veiler and other like tuner hand traps instead. Because when you have like a lot of tuners and you have like back to the front, you might actually be able to like play like with these weird hands, and just like maybe either survive or just I mean, completely kill your opponent sometimes. I wouldn't play like Jet Synchron and stuff like that though. It would be like very denaturalizing, especially when you're already playing 9 normal summons. I already said that, so yeah. Infinite, I already explained. It's because it clashes with Shade. Evenly, you can definitely play this not in the main because you want to go first. This deck is not like Altergeist, even though... I mean, yeah, Altergeist, they can just set one card and then fake her into Silk, and then still have like no cards on the field by the end of their turn, so Evenly is kind of not always dead, but I don't know, man. I don't even know. Get out because of Traptrix, it's still... I mean, just honestly, when you see a normal trap, it already gains like a lot of value, because not only Sarah, but also Traptrix, so... Yeah, anyways, that is pretty much all I had to say for this deck profile. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And yeah, if you have any comments or whatever, just let me know. And thank you very much for watching. It's your boy Yasin signing out. Peace.